Welcome to BalsaCircle.com, where we do decorations for weddings and special events. Today we're going to show you how to put together this fall or autumn mantle that looks really nice when you have people over or even just sitting home reading a book, drinking some tea, hanging out with the kids. This looks really, really nice in the living room. So here for our first DIY, we're going to be using glue, moss, acorns or nuts, scissors, a paper letter cutout, and artificial fall leaves. So for this paper cutout here, you can use white. However, I would definitely use a fall color because you'll see in a little bit that some of the white parts do show through and you have to put a little bit more meticulous work in covering those white parts. But here we're just taking some autumn leaves and placing them on the letter. Now make sure that if you want to have the letter to have really crisp edges and have it be a little cleaner, you're going to want to use smaller leaves. These we just wanted to use where it was a little bit more flowy. The letter was there, but we weren't too worried about the edges there. Once all of those leaves are kind of stacked on, then you're going to move on to, you can either use acorns or any kind of nuts, and we're just kind of filling the gaps there. Like I mentioned before, you don't have to get so crazy about filling these gaps like with this moss that we used, because we didn't want to show any of the white because it didn't really go with our color scheme. So we got super creative. We got some moss ribbon or these moss patches, cut them up into little pieces, and then we just tucked them into all the little white parts. It does take a little bit more time. That's why I say if you pick from the very beginning some construction paper, or even if you do a cardboard box, make sure that it is a color that you don't want to put a lot of work in. But as you can see, it turned out really, really nicely with what we did. So you can go both ways. It's really up to you. I love this because this just reminds me, I remember visiting Michigan and it looked like the Discovery Channel. It was absolutely ravishing. This is like the movies. It was so beautiful. So that's kind of what we were going with this whole fall look. So here we're going to be showing you how to do this second DIY. Very simple, but it's going to give that look of autumn leaves falling to the floor. And here we're going to be using some glue, scissors, some craft or fishing string or wire, artificial fall leaves, and a branch. You've got so many different kinds of leaves, and we wanted to really just embrace that. So what we're doing is we're taking that fishing line, and the reason why it's so important is because this is so you're going to give that illusion of them actually falling. And what's nice too is if you have the window open in the living room, then they're kind of going to flow with the movement of the air. It's really beautiful. So there's a nice characteristic there. So what you're doing is just taking some hot glue and putting it on the back of the leaf and securing it onto the fishing line there. You are going to want to put the leaves in different places. Obviously, it doesn't have to be absolutely symmetrical. That would be kind of defeating the point of it looking more natural on the outside, bringing that inside your living room. So we're kind of showing you here what it's going to look like. We put 2 strands there. You're probably going to want to put, depending on how large your mantle is, 8 to 15. Like I said, depending on how vast your mantle is. So it looks really good, complementing those letters that we did previously. We also put some burlap and we weaved it through some vases, all sorts of colors of fall. You can put some candles up there. We have branches, and also complementing the sides of the front of the fireplace, we're also putting a crate with some fake pumpkins. So as you can see, as a full complete look, very simple, very affordable. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you let us know by hitting that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Until then, stay creative.